Well, to add to the V8 swap saga, it appears, I don't know if you could see that too well, there's bearing play in the front diff. Let's see if I can get a good view there. Oh, there we go. Let's see if I can hold this. If you look right there, so not too long ago, probably about, let's say, within about 5 to 8,000 miles of me having the motor issue, I actually had the dealership replace the seal right here, and I'm kind of thinking they did not tighten this all the way. I don't have anything to lock this so I can check this, and if it has been loose for a while and with all the dirt that got in there, it's probably pretty caked, but I guess I'll pull it and try to figure it out. So I guess I can add gears to the list. Not really what I wanted to do at the moment, but it is what it is, I guess. But just to give everyone somewhat of an update, I've pulled the drive shafts. The rear is out. The front is out. I've pulled the Y pipe just to give me some more clearance. So that's good. That's kind of all I did today. I figured I'd do a few things after work. Also, I did check. Let me see if I can get the light in there pretty good. But if you look down in there, it does not look like mud. So it does not look like mud got pulled in through the exhaust. The other side looks the same. So I guess we're still up in the air as far as how it got in. One of the issues when I was trying to get the oil cycled through a few times, I actually had the rear main start leaking. You can kind of see the, get a good focus on that. I had oil pissing out of the plug there. So once we get this thing out, I'll start breaking into it. Another quick update, I've got the, let me get up to the front here. So I've removed the radiator AC condenser. It's laying there. I got to take it apart, separate it all so I can get that all cleaned. You can see that's still pretty muddy. Yeah, so got that out, got the air box out, some other odds and ends, core support, the alternator's out. I was kind of messing with that. You can see in one of my YouTube videos. And that's pretty much where we're at. We'll be continuing kind of, man, there's a lot of bugs in here, isn't there? So I'll be continuing with this tomorrow and just kind of mainly just probably pull the wiring off the ECM back there and the TCM. You can see back there. Probably pull the fuel lines. I'll pull the intake manifold off. A few other things, just start kind of unplugging everything. I'd like to get it basically prepped. I'm thinking I might try to pull the motor with the trans and maybe the transfer case still installed. Get it out of here in one solid unit, but I gotta kind of see what I have access to once I take off the, I guess you can call it, down tubes, since if you don't know, the Colorado does not have a manifold. You can see there the, I guess, manifold portion is actually built into the head and collects into one pipe and then comes out the head in just a single pipe into the catalytic converter. So I'll pull those off tomorrow, just kind of get her ready to pull out. The plan right now is to have the engine transmission transfer case out probably next weekend. I'd like to have it out. I got to figure out a place to put it, since I'll kind of have two engines laying around, but I'll work on that. And then I'll start kind of prepping, probably mock up the transmission, which is over here. Pulled the wiring harness from it. So here, that's the 8L90 and Silverado transfer case that's going in. I'll probably separate it. Yeah, I know about the transmission lines. I'm not using those, so that's why they're just kind of bent. I've still got to take them off. I'll be running an AN adapter, which I'll show in a later video. But that's the transmission transfer case. I have to kind of mock up the transmission a little bit to make sure my oil pan clears. The engine's pretty much ready. It's ready to go in there. I've gotten the front cover back on. The only thing I need to do is I still need to install the crank bolt. Kind of holding off on that for the moment because this oil pan actually hits it in the back here, and I've got to make sure my oil pan I plan on running will clear that. So I'm going to hold off because I have a brand new bolt and I'd rather not torque it until I know for sure that's the pulley that I'm running. This is the harmonic dampener, but this is the harmonic damper from a 2016 Camaro. As you can see, it's only two. The 5.3 stock one has 3 because it runs a vacuum pump that sits back here, which I'm eliminating. You can see that's plugged up. I showed that in my other video. But yeah, the engine's assembled. Got new spark plugs in there, new spark plug wires. Valve covers are on. Everything's taped up. I've mocked up my accessories. I'm running all 2016 Camaro accessories. I've gotten all of that. There's a few bolts I'm still waiting on. Should be here Monday. But I got everything pretty much mocked up, so I think we're good on the accessories. The big thing right now, here's the engine mounts. These are factory Colorado mounts. I ended up finding some pretty cheap ones, or I shouldn't say cheap ones because they're actually AC Delco OEM ones, but I found them for a good price on Amazon, brand new. The standard Colorado mounts actually have this is one side, this is the other side. So you take these off the top, which I've done. And then these are the current performance adapters. You can see they label it. That's D for driver, P for passenger, and then I've got the mounts actually marked as well, just because make it easier for me. But these bolts are actually too long, so I'll probably just cut those down. This one here is not all the way down, but I was just kind of holding those on there. So the mounts are ready. They'll go on down here once they're ready. Still got a little bit of staining from when I went into the motor and did some work. But yeah, so that's where we're at now. I'll probably do another quick little recap video for tomorrow's work. That way I can kind of have 2 videos going up. But that's what we got. Alright, we can kind of show. There's the alternator. I got the water pump down on there from 2016 Camaro. This will be the oil pan I plan on running. It should fit. Hoping that clears the front diff and power steering rack. If my calculations are correct, it will. As you can see, the whole reason LT oil pans cost so much is pickup tube, baffle, and everything is actually built into the oil pan. It has a dipstick. This is where the oil filter will go. It has like a plate that goes on here, and I'll probably run a sandwich plate for some AN lines to go to the oil cooler. That's still kind of being planned out. And then we've got the AC mount. AC compressors in there. A few other little odds and ends. But that's pretty much where we're at, making progress.